It's content. I'm in it. I'm in it.
And God, can I just say, look at this man. Oh, I could love that man. What is up, y'all? Hello, I am back. We're back in Korea. I don't think I'm that jet lagged. I did wake up at 4 in the morning today, but then I did like go back to sleep and sort of just wrestle in bed until like 8 o'clock, like a.m. And I feel fine, actually. I feel good. I was about to take a nap. It's about 3 in the afternoon, but I was like, wait, no, let's get some shit done. And I cleaned house, I did laundry, I did everything you're supposed to do when you get back from a trip. But I think I've done an awful job vlogging, y'all. I didn't even like do a hotel room tour of my downtown LA stay. And I forgot to like talk about a few things, but it was lovely. I think it was the perfect way to sort of end the trip. I got shit at Luna Luna. If no one knows, this was a cute little exhibit that Drake, yes, Drake, put up. There was like a few pieces by really great contemporary artists, Keith Haring, Basquiat, Hockney even, just like these amazing pieces, like a Keith Haring Ferris wheel, and all these pieces that had just been in storage in Texas for like 50 odd years. And then Drake pulled them out of storage and has created this tiny little exhibit. This is the one thing I got. I got this cap because, you know, I don't have like 50 million caps, but it says Forgotten Fantasy on it, super cute. And on the back, it has the Luna Luna logo with Los Angeles on the back. Thought it was a cutie. It's like 40 bucks. Ugh, I know too much, but I just love that. So cute. But yeah, it was such a fun, cute exhibit. Took a bunch of these with me as well, and I'll probably gift these. And then, let's see. I went to a good used bookstore. I've been following them on Instagram for like a long while now. Finally had the chance to take a little peep in, and they took my selfie. It was great. So cute. I love them. But I did pick up this book, Susan Sontag's On Women. And I've been wanting this for so long. I've asked like 4 different friends to get me this book, and they've all failed me. So this is your sign to say that friends fail you, just do it yourself. I'm just joking. I love all the people that have tried and attempted. Anyway, this is my first Sontag. I'm one of those people in that camp who has always been intimidated by Sontag, and I want to do this, mostly because of the stunning cover, simply her name on top, title on bottom, and just these purples with this like eggshell white is giving so 70s. Yeah, of its time, and I can't wait to dig into this. And then I went to the last bookstore in downtown, and usually I never get anything there because it's just like, the selection is just really meek. It's just a fun place to be in, but its selection is just like pretty oddball. So whatever you find there, you gotta go on a good day, and that good day is all luck. But I did pick up The Case of the Missing Men by Kris, Bertin, and Alexander Forbes. I don't remember where I found out about this, somewhere on Instagram, and I was just like, I love this cover so much. But then I look at the blurb on the back, it says Nancy Drew meets David Lynch in this mystery thriller set in a remote and eerie East Coast village. And sold. I thought it was like a YA kids book, like mystery thriller, but it's a little comic, a graphic novel, if you will, and I'm really excited to read this. I read like the first bit of it and it's just so odd, y'all. I love it. Like, look at this drawing. So odd. Paper plates, raincoats in the dark. Spooky. Anyway, super stoked to read this. This seems like a lot of fun. And yeah, on the way back, I water damaged some of my books, which includes Kudos by Rachel Cusk. God, I am such a, what's the word I'm looking for? Stereotype, basic bitch. I don't know what word I'm looking for, y'all. But I read this on the plane because, yeah, you know how the book's set. Just on the plane, talking to strangers. Anyway, this was such an odd way to end the little trilogy. I'm like so mind-boggled by it. But in essence, I think it sets up her work after this, like second place. And it sort of sets the tone of where good Cusk is. I think I've read early Cusk, like Aftermath, and I never really knew where to go with Cusk, but the trilogy plus second place just seemed like the pinnacle of who Cusk is and the essence of her writing and what she explores when it comes to the human condition, when it comes to the outburst of the self and what the self wants to confess or say so much of. I think Cusk and the Cuskian characters, sort of the secondhand players that exist in her fiction, are these people that just ultimately want to be heard. And when they are heard, we see so much of ourselves in the ways that they interact, in the ways that they're self-conscious of themselves. You just are combated with so many of these characters that you realize the brilliance of her. But this one is so odd. I don't even know what to make of it. The beginning, the middle parts are very strong in the way that there's this beautiful bit at the beginning where she comes across this person who experiences death with a pet and interlinks it with the death of a person. I don't know if anyone was ever given a pet very early on in their life, because your parents wanted to teach you the idea of death and the consequences of death and how it's just really a natural part of life. And it's so interesting that our character equates that to their, I think, grandparent in hospice, and they have this pet where they're in waiting and wanting for it so much to die and just like get it over with, or this idea of like getting over death while in the dying process. And this person is dealing the death of an animal, and they're so patient and impatient about the death of it and sort of just awaiting its death. And I think that very much links into, or I think what Cusk was trying to do is interplay it with death of person. And it's really compelling the way that the thought patterns work to reach the end of how her characters think. And yeah, we get the sort of usual bits, and then the end is just so strange that I'm just like, I don't know what to do with it. And now I'm in the midst of scrambling for answers as I will try to write my wrap up of this on Goodreads. But yeah, so strange to end the trilogy here, but I think speaks to the power of her characters and what she does with character and how they really do reveal the worst parts of ourselves in order to get to the best parts of ourselves. But yeah, woof, finally did it. Finished the trilogy. I've been holding off for a long while because I didn't want it to end, but this was so weird. I'm just like, okay, well, there it is. I'm done. And then after that, on the plane and sort of throughout the days while I was in LA, I was reading Yukio Mishima's Life for Sale, and this is also so odd. It's about a man who attempts suicide and then tries to just sell his life. I don't know what that entirely means, as I'm still moving through this, but he comes across many oddball characters, and yeah, I'm still reading it. I'm a mere 60 pages, but it's so odd. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's a bit surreal. The only Mishima I've read is The Golden Pavilion, so this just feels very like left field in comparison to that, but funny, and it's dark and just really enjoyable. And God, can I just say, look at this man. I could love that man. Mishima himself, a wild character, and I can kind of see how crazy he is in life and how it seeps through into his fiction. Very, very strange. This is sort of day one of being back, and yeah, I mean, I feel strange, I think, as anyone does when they go home and then come back and doesn't know what to do with their life. It's sort of like questioning, what am I doing with my life? As you like revisit old friends and see the city that you grew up in change, and it's just, yeah, I'm in an odd space. But yeah, I'm gonna take these days very slowly. I don't know why I decided to end my trip in the middle of a holiday. There's today and tomorrow to deal with. Sort of Lunar New Year, and it's a big holiday here. And yeah, well, I'm glad I did because I ran out of money. So I'm actually very glad that the trip ended where it ended, because if I had stayed, I think a day or two more, I'd be minus. So, but taking these days slowly, probably do some reading, definitely catching up on a bunch of booktube. I feel so awful. I don't know. It's like when you're not caught up, you're just swamped in so many videos, and now I've just been like, I'm in it. But it's been enjoyable. I love all y'all just like reading. It's so cute. I've just like watched a bunch of left-handed reader stuff and Modern Ajma and Renee from So I Read That. Just like, I love y'all. Love y'all so much. And Karen Reader, I feel home again watching these videos, so it's really nice. I think in a bit I'm gonna film my sort of books that I've brought back with me video, which I don't think is like super interesting, but
It's content.
and then that's it, I think. And y'all, I don't know how I'll edit any of this footage, because literally I just like started moving footage over onto my iPad, and it's just like, I just didn't have time to like really sit down and like chat with y'all. Apologies. But I hope it's entertaining in some sort of fashion. Anyway, those are the updates. Love y'all. Thanks for watching.
So French braids and the ability to French braid. Someone else French braiding your hair, I think, is what housekeeping. Like, this was a perfect book club book. It's such a sweeping, like, it was a guerrilla gardening group set in New Zealand. You always on my mind. Tell me. I'm going to be making myself into a cup of coffee. This is one of my favorite masks from Lush. It smells amazing, and it just, I find that it helps my skin a lot. It's a little exfoliating, wakes my skin up. Anyway, so as I put this on, rookie mistake on NetGalley of applying for like a bunch of arcs, and then I got them all. So now my ratio is like horrific. She loves me.
대장님한테도 말씀드리지 말고 괜히 말씀드리고.
Cover up the sky of blue. Hey, wall-to-wall girl! What are you doing?
It's Sunday morning, y'all. Maybe too early. I woke up at 5 this morning. That's how the days have been. I wake up at not even like 4. It's like 4:30. I usually wake up at 6. I'll put on a movie because it just feels so good. I think I've mentioned it in a recent faves video, maybe, or upcoming. I forget. the days are blurred. But I'll wake up to these mornings and put on a movie, because there's something great about fiction in the morning, a story in the morning, and then walk out the door and have to deal with real life. There's just something so disorienting, but that shift, you know, and sometimes I think I need that shift, this like very drastic, dire transition, this moment to moment, to make life feel more real. Speaking of, I finished Life for Sale by Yukio Mishima. I think with Mishima's work, what I've known about him, and from the one other book that I've read, The Golden Pavilion, is that the man thinks of death a lot, his own death, and unaliving himself. And here we have someone who puts up their life for sale in the ads, and through that he meets many different oddballs who give life lessons in this like comical Little Prince kind of way. Yeah, we get women, we get vampires even, we get the mob. Yeah, just like an oddball collection of characters. And it's pure camp at best. This, I think, Mishima is allowed, given that he's created a large body of work and dealing with these themes of the purpose of life, like the why. Why am I here? What am I doing? Why am I supposed to be here? What is my purpose? Very serious questions, I think, have always surrounded his life. But here, he's allowed to laugh about life, allowed to laugh about the questions and maybe some of the answers that are explored here. And yeah, he's allowed that. He's allowed to write this camp, pulpy kind of novel. He's allowed to do it. I had a lot of fun. Probably not the best work to be introduced to if you're starting with Mishima. I really don't know. Someone please tell me. I know there's like a great tier list out there. Some guy, he created this wonderful tier list of all of Mishima's books, and he goes well in depth with all the books. I'll leave his video down below because it really did help me figure out where to go with his work. But for me, I've just been like so intrigued by the character of Mishima. He's like so wild, and I'll spare you all the details because I really don't have a lot of time this morning to talk about books. I feel bad because I'm doing a disservice. I really am. But yeah, I'll link the video downstairs. But yeah, I'm really excited to read more of his work. He's this incredibly interesting character in real life and in fiction. What a man, what a man. If you're looking for like a weird, camp, pulpy kind of book, this will do it for you. Life for Sale, Yukio, Mishima. After that, I picked up, what is this called? The Tao of Nature by Zhuangzi. And this has been on my shelf for like, I think like 6 years as like a pretty little coffee table book. It has not sat on a coffee table book. It has literally just sat on my shelf collecting dust. There were times where I just like picked it up, read the first 30 pages, put it back down. And then like a year or two later, read the first 30 pages, put it down again. I don't know what it was. It's just one of those books that, there are just like a bunch of other books that I wanted to read. And this was just something that always sat and collected dust because that's what its purpose was for the past 6 years. Anyway, this is, Zhuangzi is a thinker of the same time of Confucius. In here, we really look at heaven and its purpose, not as something above and beyond, but something within nature, within people, within essentially the harmony of life. You know, I've always thought heaven to be this perfection that was unobtainable because it was so far in the sky. But really, it's in the mundanity, in the peace of things, in the slowness of animals reaching from one place to another, or the way light turns into dark. It's in the seconds, the minutes, the hours. You really have to appreciate sort of the slowness of life, really. But here, it's essentially the source material of all of that through his thinkings, really heavily focused on nature within the first few chapters. And in the later chapters, he's in conversations with other thinkers, Confucius himself, and again, it ultimately becomes this senile old man, you know, the crazy person in the shopping bag screaming about socialism, just like constantly repeats himself near the end, and that's where it kind of drags. But you have to appreciate the source material of where Zen comes from. I'll be honest, I haven't been seeing heaven throughout the days, but I've been taking this slowness, really, watching these movies in the morning, really looking at my time and its splendor and the slowness of it. It's very viscous these days. I haven't been well, but it's in this slowness that I think is the practice of learning how to step away from seeing things imperfections and absolutes and dwelling in the murkiness of it all, the swamp of it all. You know, time is not linear. It's this large swamp of so many different habitats of the past, of the present, and musings on the future. I've been really taking my time journaling and processing feelings and everything, but this was nice, finally, to have read this. If you are looking for the pinnacle text of Zen and heaven and nature, this will do it for you. I really did a terrible job, I feel, of talking about that. So I should read you a portion, I think. There are really beautiful bits in it. Y'all, the UI for Goodreads, still awful. Who's gonna tell Zuckerberg to just do a whole rebrand of it? Like, I need the fluidity of Storygraph on Goodreads. And Storygraph just lacks sort of the social aspect of everything. And it doesn't do a very good job of keeping notes, because I keep private notes in my Goodreads, just like quotes and such, thoughts and ideas for like future texts that I want to write. Here, I'll read this. Does heaven move? Does the earth stand still? Do the sun and moon argue about where to go? And then within my review, which I'll leave a little thing down below to get to it, but strengthen your heart, remain sure in actionless action, and all things will then transform themselves. Reject your body, throw out hearing and eyesight. Forget that you are anyone, become one with the vast and the void. Loosen the heart, free the spirit, be calm as if without a soul. All living things return to their root not knowing why. Constantly in darkness, and throughout their physical existence, they never depart from this. If they tried to understand this, they would depart from this. Ask not for its name, seek not for its shape. So all life comes to birth through itself. It's like the Bible, crazy. And yeah, it's just words like that that remind you that though the center will not hold, sometimes being still creates that sense of holding and that center. So there we have it. Today, oh, let me talk about today. I'm having lunch with a friend and then going to this exhibit and book space, and why did I say that? Like a library. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It's like a research facility that entails a library, but it's a beautiful book space. The weather will be very nice for it today, I think. And yeah, nice little catch up, some coffee maybe. And yeah, that's the day. But with that, I think I'll bring 2 books with me. Oh yeah, so it's in the city, within Seoul. I'm gonna do this. This is the top priority. It's Joan Didion's Where I Was From. I think I read this like years ago, but I was so bored by it. And then there was a moment on Goodreads where I was just like deleting reviews because they were on like part of a shelf and I didn't want them to be there. So I deleted the reviews, not thinking that it would like remove my reading history of the book. So it doesn't show up, but I'm pretty sure I did, because I had a hideous cover of this from Goodwill for like $2, and I did not enjoy it. But after having gone to the Didion exhibit a year ago at the Hammer Museum, curated by Hilton Alls, he referenced this book a ton. Made me interested in it again, and I think I'll come back with a lot more respect and patience with what this is about. But I think it's essentially about where she was from, Sac City, Sacramento. With that, I'm also doing On Not Knowing by Emily Ogden. I feel like this will follow up nicely with this because this does talk about embracing the unknowingness. And yeah, what does it mean within contemporary standards? What can we take with the old and bring into the new and settle my nowness with this? So those are the themes for today. Yeah, I think with my time, we're on time, which is good. Yeah, I'll get dressed, put on a costume, finish my coffee, and my movie for the morning is Face to Face from 1976 by Ingmar Bergman. I'm halfway through it, and I'll probably finish the last half like within the next day or 2. I think it was a TV movie, so it's like split into 4 parts, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's Bergman's most personal work because it talks about sort of the isolation that he experienced. He has this holiday home, and it's on this island, and it's so isolating. He's talked about this isolation before, but here it's a lot more apparent in almost therapy kind of way. Like, he admits so much about himself through his muse, Liv Ullmann, who has this like very fantastic performance, like huge run of emotions, so much control and power and vigor for a TV film too, which is like insane. It always amazes me how much Bergman can pare so much down through just dialogue, performance, and very simple shots that are just incredibly effective. It just goes to show that you don't need a lot to make a film. And yeah, it's I'm enjoying it a lot. As you can see, bags are already set up and ready to go. I'll keep y'all posted. I'll try to be a good vlogger today. Okay, bye. Howdy y'all, this is the fit of the day. Quick, gotta finish this. We've got our oatmeal wool trench. Oscar cap today just to keep the hair in order, just for the train ride over to the city. And white jeans. We've got this double-breasted pocket button up, and we got this sweater on, this blue sweater as a scarf. I saw this done in a Ozu film, and I was like, wait, I should totally try that. And I kind of like it. It's kind of doing something. It's probably not doing anything, y'all, but that's what's going on. And bag of the day is our pillow clutch, because this is cozy. I kind of like this look together. So that's what's happening. I'm late, so let's go. You saw me walk into Uniqlo. I did that to get an umbrella because apparently it's gonna rain in the evening, so we did that. I've made it very close to the restaurant. I forget, I don't know why my friend Joan says it's like all the way in the fucking mountains. So we're walking up a mountain right now. Gonna be quite sweaty by the time we get there, but yes! That's a lot of time on your hands. What are you gonna do with all that time? What do you mean?